Today, I want to spend some time with you. Again, it's a Freedom Day. If you've never been with us, we're very, very much about building a business to the point where you could disappear for 2 months and your business would not have a hitch in it. Like those of you that would be down to have that experience, put your hand in the air. Like, please give me a thumbs up or something. If your camera's off because you do your hair today, go ahead and put a thumbs up inside the chat box, something, anything. But guys, the opportunity, it exists. And the majority of real estate professionals don't even realize that that opportunity exists. They don't realize that no matter who they're associated with, no matter what brokers they're associated with, they truly work for themselves. Right? We all work for ourselves. We run our own businesses. And by running our own businesses, people think that, and not all people, right? Some of us we understand there's next steps in all this, but there are so many real estate agents that believe that they will be in the grind forever. And as long as they are doing it, they will make money. And if they stop doing it, money will stop coming. And many don't understand that you can build this business just like the owner of Coca-Cola built his business, right? Just like the owner of Apple built his business, just like the owner of McDonald's built his business. We can do the same exact thing. We are businesses, we're running businesses. So all that we do here is coach you in procedural steps to build foundation work, to develop a business that's going to create more business for you and build leverage for you that will put you in the position to be able to step away one day and still have a business that is flourishing, up and running, and still paying you, right? Makes a ton of sense, right? I hope that makes a ton of sense for you guys. So today we're going to talk something. Last week, when we did the session, we did basically stage 2 of understanding and developing a brand, right? Today we want to talk about who do we present this brand to? And why was this brand created to begin with, right? And so, again, as business owners, we're all entitled to have our own brand. Now, I'm a big believer. I love logos. Logos are great. But as we've discussed the last couple of weeks, the brand goes way beyond the logo, right? Nike's logo, everybody knows it. What is it? The swoosh, right? Everybody knows Apple's logos, the little apple, right? But when you see those logos, you don't think just that's the Nike logo. No, you assume, and it interprets to you that may be a quality shoe. Or the Apple stands for a quality product, a quality computer, quality phone, right? It says something to you. It makes you feel a certain way, right? So when a lot of times when we create these opportunities for ourselves as real estate professionals, we assume we need to have a fancy logo with all this pizzazz, and we really don't. You know what the biggest logo in real estate is? Your pretty smile. Am I wrong? It's your face. Your face is the logo. And the reason that I say that, and I'm not telling you, we just spent 2 weeks talking about how to develop a real brand and a logo and everything else. What I'm telling you is that your face needs to coincide with that logo. Your face needs to be present in a lot of things that we do. So when we talked about deliverables and we talked about putting information out there, right? We talked about taking our faces and putting them on postcards, taking our faces and putting them on flyers, taking our faces and creating videos, right? When I talk to clients, I talk to them like this most of the time. Why? Because I'm a big, big believer that the psychology that goes behind the human relationship requires a few things, 3 specific. One of them being your physical touch with that person, and the next 2 being the sound and the sight. And so if I'm like this sending videos, and I'm like this doing FaceTime calls, and I'm like this on WhatsApp, right? What are they getting? They're getting everything except the handshake, right? And so I'm ensuring that at least 2/3 of the relationship is being built on that know, like, and trust status, because I'm giving them my face and I'm giving them my sound. Veering off topic, that face right there at some point could convert to just a logo. Because what are we doing? We're building first. We need people to recognize us. And then we take it to the next step and we build a team. And then we want people to recognize the team. So you see all these people with their team photos. They got 30 people in the team. They're all like this, right? You know, and they've got this great team behind them and they're flourishing in that sense. And eventually over time, you could keep your face on there, or you could convert it to a logo because you've done such a great job in delivering your brand and incorporating your brand into the community that you serve. Does that make sense to you guys? Give me a thumbs up if it does, right? That makes sense to you guys. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you, okay? So today, we're going to talk about what's known as the avatar. Who are we delivering this information to? Now, I would love participation today. And what I said last week is that I was going to create an avatar and we were going to have fun with it. So I wasn't going to just, so I brought my avatar. My godson came over one day and he said that I had to put this on my desk, right? And so this is on my desk every day. Everybody knows who this is, right? Baby Yoda, right? And if you like Star Wars, you get it. If you don't like Star Wars, you still know Star Wars. So we still have fun with this, right? Now, if these folks right here, if him and his family is my avatar, and now let me explain avatar real quick before we get there. This is who I'm focused on. Let's get into reality. My focused on first-time home buyers, and my focused on military personnel, and my focused on luxury real estate, and my focused on investors, right? These are the people that I want to serve, right? Avatar could also mean community, right? So if I live in, the Sugar Lakes community, and I only want to service the Sugar Lakes community because it so happens there's like 350 homes in the Sugar Lakes community and there's a decent amount of turnover, and I want to be the realtor in that area, then my avatar is somebody that lives in or wants to live in Sugar Lakes community. All right. So if we have fun with this, we're going to take everything that we've talked about the last couple of weeks and all the brand deliverables and everything that we discussed, and we're going to focus it on those people, right? Who here knows exactly who their avatar is? Type it in the chat box if you know who you want to service, who your avatar is. What's up, Joey? Awesome, man. All right, so Elias says first-time home buyers. He loves working with first-time home buyers, right? Investor and empty nesters. Love that. Costanza says that, investors and empty nesters, right? Daniel says, can I have several? The answer is not no. I would never say no to you, right? So can you have several avatars? Yes, potentially. Will your brand ever represent one solid, strong thing? Probably not, because you would have multiple avatars, right? And so what you would have to figure out is, now, first of all, investors and cash buyers kind of tie in together, right? Because there's not a whole lot of cash buyers that are first-time home buyers, right? And then so you incorporated first-time home buyers in there as well. So I would venture to ask you, if I said to you, you needed to create one video a day and you needed to post one thing a day and you needed to send out one mailer a day, and what would that mailer post video be based on, right? Would you mix it up? Like, would it be like one for investors and one for first-time home buyers? And would you be concerned that maybe the first-time home buyer really only pays attention to your investor mails and investor videos versus the investor that looks at you and says, this guy works with first-time home buyers? So it's a push and pull. What I would say is, I'm never going to tell you no, that you can't focus on the two. What I will say is that you would have to double down on your forward presentation marketing, right? You would have to double down on who you're attracting and how you're attracting them, okay? International buyers that don't have access to credit but have cash, love that, right? That's fantastic. I actually know quite a few real estate agents that travel consistently to Mexico, to Colombia, to Argentina, right? And when they travel, what they do is they go meet with brokerages over there and they take information from several new developers, right? So they got, 6, 7 new developments in Miami, and they take that information down there and they present these new developments over there. And they pay referrals on the business that's sent to them. Okay. Somebody said FSBOs, which is great. So Ryan, I would ask you, like, for sale by owners, the information that you're putting out to your avatar, right? It's going to be very much focused on why it's better to hire us than it is to sell your home on your own, right? Or is it going to be, which also works, Ryan, and maybe you do it, maybe you don't, I'm assuming, right? Creating content that helps people sell their home. And so, I learned this years ago. And I said, why would you do that, right? Because the first thing is, why would you do that? If you're trying to get them to hire you, why would you tell them best steps to sell their home, right? And the answer is, because it's a lot of work and most people won't do it all. And the answer is, at the end of every video, you can pull legitimate stats, right? NAR says, for sale by owners sell for X% less than by working with a real estate professional, right? And you could search that every year. Every year they put out those stats at NAR. You could just Google it, right? A FSBO for NAR, and it'll come up, right? And so the information that you're constantly putting out is best steps on how to sell the home, information on how to prepare your yard, information on what your home should look like, information on pictures on the walls, information on, right? And I could just go on and on and on and on best techniques, which, by the way, if you want to focus on sellers, this works for you too, because you're putting constant information out to your avatar, right? You're putting constant information out to your avatar on what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, and what you specialize in. So I'm, because I have a team, several members of my team work on different avatars. So my team as a whole doesn't have an avatar. But if I was a single agent, and it's still who I attract the most, my avatar would be military members, right? I served in the Marine Corps for 9 years. Okay. So I have a passion for the military. That's my thing. That would be my avatar. How can I help veterans and active duty personnel create more wealth through real estate? Right? And so by doing that, right now, my consistency and the videos that I consistently put out there would be very much focused on the VA loan. They'd be very much focused on my military career. They'd be very much focused on transitioning out of the military, right? Because those of you that have served know that when you transition from military to civilian, it's not the easiest transition in the world. And most people come out into the civilian world a bit confused and lacking a ton of information on the benefits that actually work for them. So yesterday, I went off on a tangent on Instagram and Facebook because I had an opportunity to speak to a young lady who was a war veteran, who was homeless, who found her way back up, and she was homeless after the military, found her way to step back up and just purchased her first home. And we were having a conversation, and she was told that the FHA loan was a better option than the VA loan, and that she should not use the VA loan. And that just lights me up, guys. So my tangent was not, that's ridiculous, right? My tangent was more along the lines of, we know why the lender and the agent said this, because they're not familiar with working with VA loans. If you're not familiar, ask. If that's not your avatar, don't work with them. Perfect example. I am not a fan of commercial real estate. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. I'm not a fan. Do I understand it? Yes. Am I out there looking for people that want to sell and buy warehouses and malls? And no, I'm not. I don't like it. It's emotionless. I'm an emotional guy. I like to feel the power of somebody purchasing something, whereas commercial real estate is very much focused on Excel spreadsheets, numbers, and so forth and so on. That's just not me. I'm also very high D, And me being a very high D says that I have very little patience to sit down and evaluate these numbers. I understand my personality. I know who I am. Therefore, when a big commercial deal comes my way, I go straight to my commercial contacts and I go, got a referral for you. And it's okay to do that. Just like if you're working Sugar Village, because Sugar Village, I said 300 homes, but let's make it bigger because there's some communities out there that have 600, 700, 800 homes, right? Sugar Village has 600, 700, 800 homes, and that's where I want to focus. And I'm delivering my brand to them consistently through ad flow, through social media posts, through Facebook groups, right? Through mailers, postcards, bus bench, bus stop signs, signs around the neighborhood, events at the community center, right? Things like that. I'm constantly building that brand. If somebody comes to me and says, I want to buy a house 50 miles away. Is it to my benefit to refer them, or should I go take them 15 miles away and neglect Sugar Village Homes? And so I say this to you because we cannot work from a place of lacking. I'm trying to find the right word. We have to work from abundance. We can't work from a place that is lacking, that we feel like if we don't do this, oh my goodness, we're not a scarcity. There it is. We cannot work from a place of scarcity. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Right? We have to work from a place of abundance. When you work from a place of scarcity, you always neglect something else. If you go help somebody with a commercial deal 50 miles away, but you know damn well that your thing is Sugar Village and ain't nothing but houses, townhouses, and small apartments, that's where you should be focused on. And create a referral agreement to get that other deal over there done. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It's not your thing, right? Just like me, it's not my thing. I refer my commercial business out, right? And I've got a couple agents on my team now that are very interested in commercial. And so, boom, opportunity, right? Now, taking this, let's have a little fun with Yoda real quick. Okay, you can type, you can unmute and chat. I would love that. I like to hear people's voices. I like to, I love coaching, but I so much prefer coaching in person, right? Because when you're doing the Zoom, I'm basically coaching to a bunch of boxes with pictures of people, right? So I love coaching in person. So that being said, let's work with Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda lives on planet whatever. He's part of Star Wars. If this is my avatar, what type of information am I putting out consistently? Have fun with this, guys. What type of information am I consistently putting out about what might be interesting for a home for this guy right here? Type it out, chat it out. I would love if somebody unmutes themselves and have some fun with me.
Somebody in the Everglades. He likes the swamp.
See, there you go. Jeff says that's not my area of expertise. I appreciate that. All right, definitely fun. But you're right? But like if we went even deeper, right? Chances are this guy is he lives in a space where there's spaceships and stuff like that, right? So what about like spaceship stops? Just being silly here, having fun with this, right? But what about would it be important for him to live close to where spaceships can land and take off? Would it be important for him to live amongst his own community, or would he like to live in other communities, right? Because we're talking about species, right? So like, there's so many different things that we can have fun with this, right? Does he prefer underground or does he prefer above ground? Is it tree house or is it swamp water, right? We can have so much fun with this, okay? But if you understand and you know Yoda, you can create the content that goes directly to them. For instance, we have teams in Virginia and we have teams in South Florida. What do they have in Virginia that they don't have in South Florida? Snow and basements, right? And so these are things that we have to understand about our folks, right? I am not creating videos that is talking about these grand basements fully furnished with like, or completely done basements with like theaters and pool tables and everything else, because that just doesn't exist here. I go in my backyard, I dig 2 feet, I hit water, right? So But in Virginia, that's a big thing. The video content that happens over there is going to discuss that. By the way, up there in Virginia, they're completely surrounded by military bases, the Pentagon, and everything else. So what do you think the videos up there are really discussing? We're speaking to our avatars, and that's the most important piece to this, right? So again, we spent the last 2 weeks talking about brand. Now we're talking about avatar, okay? So now I'm going to pick on somebody, right? If you don't mind, I'm going to pick on somebody. Let's see. I want to go with Ryan. Ryan, can you unmute? Are you available still? Where'd you go? I think he had to jump off. Okay. Daniel, let's go with you. Let's do it. Let's go. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, awesome. So let's talk about your brand, right? If you are focused on international buyers, how are you delivering your brand? Because if you're and I think this is a great conversation, because if you're focused on international buyers, and that means that you're not really sending mailers out and things like that, right? Because unless you're mailing to all of South America, right? So how are you communicating with them?
So it's basically referrals on people that I know, and I have conversations about real estate, and I engage them to be interested in real estate in Miami. Say that again.
How are you getting in front of them? Like, even the people that refer you, how are you getting in front of them?
WhatsApp and Instagram.
All right, awesome. Talk to me about your Instagram. How are you putting out information that is focused on international buyers on Instagram?
So I put videos related to Miami and the lifestyle. I put videos and articles that I see that are relevant to the market in Miami and the lifestyle in Miami. And I get responses from people sometimes, and they talk to me through Instagram chat. And if they're interested, then I go through the WhatsApp. We share the number, and we have a conversation through WhatsApp, because we're able to make a phone call through WhatsApp.
Have you ever thought about doing an Instagram live with a lender that potentially does international loans?
I wish I could. It's on my on my future phase, I would say.
Okay.
I still feel like, I don't know, for some reason I feel shy to be on the camera.
Okay.
Like, not knowing what to say next.
What about if you just went with sound? What if you just did the Zoom recording, you recorded it, and you went with sound, and you took that sound and you put that sound on a graphic that says conversations about buying in Miami for international buyers, right? And they have like you've seen this little graphic. It's like a little thing, and it goes like this, like if it's like, like the sound volume thing, what I mean? Yeah. Right. And so you could create that. There's a program called CapCut, right? And so you could take that graphic and you can upload just the sound. So when you record on Zoom, you can actually download the sound only. So you can do the interview with the lender privately, okay? And then create a graphic that has your picture, the lender's picture, and the topic. And then you post that, because on CapCut, you put the picture and you just extend the picture like a video for as long as the sound is. And you post that. You post it like a movie. See, I just gave everybody a solution who doesn't want to be on camera, which, by the way, these are the steps to building a podcast. There's no reason why you can't have a podcast, right? There's a company called Libsyn, Libsyn, right? You sign up for Libsyn and you upload that sound and that graphic into Libsyn, and now you've posted your first podcast. Yeah. So great opportunities for you to consistently have conversations about things, right? So, and I'll share with you guys. Look, who do you think Daniel? Who's my avatar? Just me and knowing what I do on a daily. Who's my avatar?
Military, VA.
The veterans, right? But more than that, because I'm not heavy in sales. Who's my avatar?
Recruiting.
Agents.
Agents, right? Agents is my avatar. Thank you, Costanza. Right. So this is my deliverable board, and I'm going to share it with you. All of this stuff is the things that I do to deliver, right? So on here, I've got speaking. I do a lot of speaking opportunities, right? Let me get back in the camera here. Speaking, I do a lot of speaking opportunities. I do local live events, right? We have the Freedom Organization, in which we do coaching, group platforms, webinars, masterminds, and communities, okay, where we build community. I have our team, and our team focuses on stuff. We're in the process of developing a men's wealth community, right? Because it doesn't exist in real estate. I'm on chapter 11 of 16 of writing my book called Failure, right? Which is very much focused on the development of, real estate agents. I do these weekly webinars every Thursday at 11 a.m. I have my agent attraction goals down there. We have the New You Recon coming up November 3rd, where we're hosting a conference here in South Florida with Tom Ferry. Then we have an LPT mastermind that's coming up October 6th, 7th, and 8th. These are all things. This is my deliverable, right? This is just this. This is added deliverable. This is social media. This is what we do for agent attraction. This is what we do to promote the coaching and the coaching platform, right? And so the reason I wanted to show you this is because it can get complex depending on what you're doing. But this is what each and every one of you need to be doing. This is what each and every one of you need to build out to build your platform to reach your avatar. So like you say, okay, Dave, but you do masterminds. How's that going to help me with buyers and stuff, right? So, because I can relate all of this, right? So you do masterminds, how does that help me with buyers and sellers? Very easy answer, right? If I'm selling Sugar Village, once a quarter, I am going to host the Sugar Village property appraisals meeting. And what I'm going to do is tell everybody that comes to the meeting how the value in the community is, what's being sold and what's not being sold, how the pricing is, how it's been quarter over quarter and year over year, right? What the interest rates are like, opportunities for refinancing to invest in maybe another unit in the community, et cetera, right? If I'm a first-time homebuyer guy, then I'm going to host webinars and in-person events locally at least once a month for first-time homebuyers. Is once a month too often? No. Just like I believe in posting on social media 5 times a day. I don't know what time you're going to turn on your Instagram, and I want to be there, right? So hosting once a month also creates consistency in delivering your brand to your avatar. It creates consistency. So people will know that, Jeff, I'm just going to use you. People will know that Jeff and Amanda once a month will host this session, this class, and they're going to have lenders there, and they're going to have title company there, and they're going to have inspections there, and every one of them is going to talk about the buying process and how to prepare to buy a home, because they're focusing on first-time home buyers. Or once a month, Jeff and Amanda have this community. They're in Sarasota, and they have this community, and that community, they're going to invite them all to a market workshop, where they're going to talk about what's happening in the community with the prices, how things are moving. They're going to invite a couple new developers over so the developers can talk about what they're building. And they're going to become the go-to most knowledgeable people there. But is it just the once a quarter meeting that's going to get them there? No, it's the added social media content that leads to the once a quarter meeting, right? So if I have this big conference with Tom Ferry, I can't just one day wake up and say, hey, by the way, guys, I'm going to be on stage with Tom Ferry for a full day and you guys should come pay to see this, right? I actually have to give you content day after day after day after day, and you have to find me valuable in the content that I'm providing you in order for you to say, I'm vested, I'm going to see you and Tom Ferry. It's not just because I brought Tom Ferry, right? And then the other folks that I bring to the table are carefully chosen because of the content they put out and the attraction that they bring to the table. So when we bring, I don't know, Teresa Grobecker and Kevin Cottrell to the table on stage, we know that they constantly get content out about the blockchain and about real estate in the blockchain. We know that if I put Tony Martinez out there, that Tony Martinez is the owner of the CDPE, which is the Certified Distressed Property Expert Certificate. He owns that program. And so we know that he's got a great following of people who will now want to come and hear what potentially could happen as the market shifts with short sales and foreclosures, because it's all distressed properties. That's who we're focused on. That's who we're growing towards. Right? So those are the opportunities that you guys have. That's local live events. I mean, speaking, it could just be on video. You could do just consistent video, consistent content. There's nothing better. Emails, mass emails to your database should go out at least twice a week. But Dave, that's too much. What about 3 times a week? Cool. 4 times a week? What's the right number? What makes you feel comfortable, right? Okay. Community, we just talked about that by creating the stuff. Facebook communities, can you create a Facebook community for what it is that you do? Absolutely. If I sell Sugar Village, when I want a Facebook community for Sugar Village, I don't care if they post in there, hey guys, I lost my dog. Can you guys find, help me find, Rocky the dog. I don't care what they post in there. It's the Sugar Village community. And I run the group. And guess what? I don't let any other realtors in the group. Why would I? Every time there's a new property moving, I could discuss it. And every time something cool is happening in the community, I could discuss it. And if the pool at the community is getting redone next month, I could post it in there before they even get the mailer out, as long as I'm in tune with the management office. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Right? So that consistency and moving forward, that's what's going to get you a step ahead. Now I'm going to drop a couple other things on you guys before we finish off here. You guys have your avatars, you have your business, you know the direction, you know your brand, you know all this stuff already. It's great. How do we ignite business right away? And the people that are in your phone, your sphere of influence, the people that are already there, chances are, have something to do with you somehow, some way. And there's a good chance that they might fit your avatar fairly well, right? And the reason I bring this up is because I think most real estate agents neglect the phone. As a matter of fact, they neglect it so badly that when it rings with money, people get mad. Am I wrong? Have you guys seen this? Sitting with other agents and the phone's ringing, they, oh, this guy again. Oh, I'm so sorry, you got to get 3% on $700,000. Like, pick up the damn phone. But when I say neglect, I'm talking about simply looking through this phone, updating your contact information, and communicating with every single person on there. Communicate with them consistently. It should be in your CRM. They should be in your email drip campaigns. They should be on your tongue when you're talking to them consistently. Now, one of the most effective things that somebody could do is there are several apps out there that will help you download your entire contact list into an Excel spreadsheet, right? The one I used to use was SA Contacts, but there's several out there, and you just download it to your phone, download your entire database, turn it to Excel spreadsheet, put it up on your computer. Step number 1, remove those people that you don't need to communicate with, like, the light company and Walgreens, right? Like, those numbers don't make sense, right? So you get rid of those numbers. And then you look at the rest of the database, your brother stays, your cousin stays, your aunt stays. I don't care if your aunt's 92 years old, stays, right? And then You look to see who you're missing email addresses for. And you call those folks. And you say, hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? Dave here. It's been a long time. Nice to talk to you, brother. You know, listen, I'm updating some information on my phone. I was hoping I could get your email address. Yeah, sure, Jeff@jeff.com. Awesome, man. Thanks, bro. Then next I call Costanza. Hey, Costanza, how you doing, man? Been a long time. We haven't talked. How are things going? When you moving to South Florida, excited for you, blah, 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 right? And then we go in and I say, hey, listen, the email I have for you is Costanza@Costanza.com. Is that your email? Yeah, it is. Awesome, dude. Listen, I'm just updating my information. Great opportunity to talk to you. How you been? I've been great, man. You know, working with a lot of clients, selling a lot of real estate, really excited. Did I say, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell real estate? No, I already pinned it into her head that I sell real estate. Once I have that, by the way, depending on how many clients you have on your phone, how many people you have on your phone, by the time you're done updating every single person's information, you'll probably have 5 new buyers and sellers. But nobody wants to put in this work. And that's why I'm dropping it to you guys. This is work that you guys have to put in. Got to do it. That's 5, 6, 7 new buyers and sellers right there. Damn, Dave, that's right. I forgot. This is when Costanza goes, damn, Dave, that's right. I forgot you were selling real estate. I could be posting 5 times a day on Instagram, but if I'm not in Costanza's feed, she ain't never gonna know. If I'm not in her algorithm, she's not gonna know. If I'm not sending her emails consistently, she's not gonna know. But if I talk to her and I tell her, she's gonna know. And now she says, oh, that's right, Dave, forgot you was in real estate. I would love it. Listen, you know, I've been thinking about selling my house. Can you help me? Absolutely. Where do you sell real estate? In the United States. But I live in South Florida, so. Right? Why do I say that? Because if Costanza says, oh, shoot, I'm in Boston, I got you. I'll find you somebody. I'll find you somebody. Is it hard to find a referral agent? No. No. Shoot, you could probably jump into our coaching community and ask anybody in Boston. You can go on Facebook. Who do we know in Boston that's a realtor? 30 people are going to respond to that. Why? Because everyone's a realtor, right? We know that. Gives you an opportunity to call those agents, communicate with them, interview them, build a relationship with them, choose one, refer that person. By the way, if I got 30 names, I'm building 30 relationships, but I'm choosing one, right? Because one day I'm going to remember who my avatar is. I want all 30 of those agents to know who I am. All right, guys, I'm going to drop off today. It was really great connecting with everybody. It's 11:45. We always try to stop by 45. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us today. We do this every single Thursday at 11 a.m. So be happy to see you guys next week and the week after that and the week after that. I'm always here. Those that have been with me for a while know that it doesn't matter what's happening in my life. I try to jump in. If I'm on the other side of the world, I will be awake to make it happen. Okay. Last week I was at the hospital. Like, I'm on here. I will make it happen. I will not let you guys down. So join me every Thursday at 11 a.m. We'll consistently continue to bring you great content and great information. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.